Hello everybody. I'm going to talk about a couple of groups that I've been involved with over the years. The first is an example of a successful group. I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee when I was approached as to help a colleague of mine with a problem they were having with a system for requesting non-expiring passwords. I work in IT. And the current procedure was rather arcane and had multiple, sometimes 30 or 40 plus email back and forth exchanges that were all supposed to be tracked, and it was really kind of a mess. So the first thing we did is established a working group and assigned roles for everybody according to specialty. We analyzed the problems. We looked at everything that needed to be done, and then everybody went and worked on their piece and came back. We met several times, and it took several months, but ultimately we ended up with an automated request system worked into our overall change management program. But and it was very successful, and everybody agreed that it was a great time saver. And the unsuccessful one I'd like to talk about, I was a founding member of a group in the Chattanooga area called the Hearthfire Spiritual Alliance. The Hearthfire Spiritual Alliance was primarily made of members of local neo-pagan groups and Wiccan covens, but we were open to having people from other spiritual traditions, as long as they were respectful, to join us. And several organizational meetings were held. There was officers finally nominated and elected, and bylaw. We were working on the bylaws when a number of people decided that they were going to get really technical about who was going to be allowed to be a part of this and who wasn't. And we're saying, well, if we're open to people from all paths, then even some of the monotheistic religions should be allowed to participate. There was a disagreement as to scope of the whole thing, and even though a lot of work had gone into it, this disagreement of scope led to factionalization, disagreement, and ultimately the disbanding of the entire project after only about a year. So that was a disaster. There was nobody. Although officers had been elected, or had been nominated, there was no election held. So nobody really had the power to say that's out of scope, or we're trying to keep it focused here. There were either too many chiefs and no Indians, if you'll pardon the expression, too many cooks. I don't know. Whatever it was, there was no structure to resolve conflict. And because of that, the entire thing dissolved. So that was a disaster. I hope these two examples are close to what's being looked at, and I look forward to hearing other people's experiences and the commentary on what I've been talking about here. So I bid you all a good evening, and hope to talk to you soon.